Beyond the Basement with Jim Jam, Johnny, and Yeti, where we go beyond the walls and get into all kinds of crazy and creepy and cryptozoology-y and alien-y, UFO-y stuff.
UFO-y?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying a bunch of E's. No, but this is where we talk about all kinds of stuff, like conspiracy theories, UFOs. Today, though, we're discussing vampires. Ooh. That is right, vampires. You can go check out our episode on the Horror Basement podcast that we did last week. We talked a little bit about vampires because the movie of the week was
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes, What We Do in the Shadows. So we talked a little bit. So that got us on. It's Vampire July, I guess. July, Vampires in July instead of Christmas in July. And be on the lookout for, 2 weeks? Our next podcast on Beyond. We might be having a count on an actual vampire that's local to Tennessee.
Should we say his name?
Vampire. That's what
I've
Yeti?
had a little sit down with him. He's
Mr. Count Drahoon. I'm a bit of a skeptic. I mean, I know y'all believe he's a vampire, but
Yeti has talked with him, and then he's featured all three of us on his podcast.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, but there's rumors, though. There's rumors, guys, I believe, ain't there? That him and this one other guy aren't ever in the same room together, from what I heard. So I'm a little skeptic, but we'll find out. So stay tuned in 2 weeks.
We're going to get to the bottom of the mystery.
Yeah, maybe on. I don't know.
He's a busy man.
Yeah, he's a busy man. We'll see. But anyways, Yeti, he performed a song for us a couple weeks ago. You can go check that out on our YouTube, TN Horror News. And go subscribe there. See if you're watching this video on YouTube, subscribe, please. It does us a lot. We're trying to at least get to 1,000, and that would help out a lot. But he's got a new song. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I've kept it secret from the guys. I've been working on it.
Kept this secret. He works on the songs, and he don't let us know. Usually he lets us know about most things, but not the songs.
Not the songs. We got to keep those in the pocket.
Yeah.
So, just like last time, I'm gonna kind of open it with, like I said, I like to express myself through music. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my many artistic outlets. And I was thinking, back when I was young, I used to do a lot of traveling, and this is a story from my traveling days. And I call this just to make sure the summit is in tune. Alright, yeah, this is a song from my traveling days. I call it the Cold and Lonesome Blues. It's a story from the book of Yeti. Am I coming through alright?
Yeah.
Good, alright. Well, I was sitting on the bank, I was staring at the lake, when that old still water started to swirl, and out of the water came the most beautiful girl. She had a long neck and big dark eyes, and her Dolly Parton wig was her only disguise. And I couldn't help but stare. She didn't seem to care. She said she was needy, she needed a little help. I said anything baby, anything you need from me. She said, I need, Lord, I need about 350 right now. And I said, and I had the money. Oh, Lord, I had the money at the ready. And I stopped, and I said, hey, baby. I said, hey, baby, what's in it for me? And she rolled her tongue, and she flexed her throat. She was the most in the ocean, though she swallowed my boat. Well, it was a crazy kind of love, a love that I was in. She gave me all, from her head down to her fin. Oh no. It was a night of passion, a night of love. She might have been tall than a motherfucker low, but I fit like a glove. And I woke up the next morning on that bank all alone, and I was cold. I was so down to the bone. So now I tell you, she took my seed and she took my tree fitting. So now I tell you, man, well I tell you, don't you never give no monster no money. Don't give that hoe no 350 now. It's always a trap. I gave her my
it's a trap.
And now it burns when I pee. Oh Lord, it burns. It was a trap. That Loch Ness whore done gave me the clap. That was the Cold and Lonesome Blues.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Maybe that was bitchy.
So, Yeti, what would you call that one?
That's the Cold and Lonesome Blues.
That's the song name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the song name. The Cold and Lonesome Blues from Yeti. It's crypto song. What would you call this album?
No,
Yeah,
EP,
it's
it'd be a
album, Stories from the Beyond, the upcoming album.
So yeah, when
December of 2020, never.
No, actually, no, Yeti, we're gonna put an album together. I'm gonna take the audio from all these videos that you do, and we're gonna put them. Oh yeah, we're gonna do an unplugged Yeti unplugged.
The basement unplugged. Yeti in the basement unplugged.
The basement session.
So yeah.
Oh man.
There will be an album.
That's
gonna
good.
Be great.
So how's everybody doing this week? Everybody good?
I'm ready to go back in quarantine.
Doing pretty good.
It's been fucking hot. Really hot.
It is a hell world out there.
Yes, it is. And the ones that hate the fucking sun, the vampires, which I guess really there's some people out there that hate the sun, so you could consider them kind of like vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those things that it comes from, the photophobia, I think they call it. You break out in a rash when you go out in the sun.
Oh yeah. There's some of them. Yeah. Get any kind of sunlight break out. That would suck. That'd suck real bad.
Yeah.
I think I have that. If I stay out there for about 5-10 minutes, I get like really red.
Maybe really.
Maybe
Jim
it's
has
30.
a sweatophobia, a walkophobia, movement-ophobia. Yeah. Any kind of heat, he don't like it. It gets him hot.
Yeah, I fall down on the ground just like, I can't move.
I'll tell you what,
when he has sex, he has to go to Antarctica, so it never gets hot.
Yeah.
Shit, it's like 60
And
something.
that way it's cold, so you can be like, no, it's just real cold out here. It's just,
exactly. Oh man, speaking of cold sex, you ever had sex in a freezer? A walk-in freezer?
No.
Like,
no.
Yeah, I have. Fun story. I was at work when I worked at Walmart.
No. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. In the walk-in freezer at Walmart in Shelbyville.
The freezer or just the cooler?
No, the freezer. The walk-in freezer.
So that was that's below.
Yeah.
For
No. It's about 20 to 25. Yeah.
Did you
I worked
shoot?
in cold areas for 10 years, so I was used to the cold, but yeah. Haha. Got you on that one, guys. So I guess that would be like the weirdest place you've ever had sex, and it was probably the freezer of Walmart while everyone was still there.
Did you at least lock it, or did you just hurry up and do it?
Shut the door, fucking get it done. Yeah, it couldn't have been. I mean, yeah, you couldn't take your time on it. I'll tell you that. It was like get this shit in and get out.
Did you leave it in?
Yeah.
Or did you shoot it on the floor?
No. No. Anyways, yeah.
Is that frozen milk on the ground?
Cryogenically frozen Kierans.
Yeah, you would have never known. I mean,
Damn.
you know what I'm saying? Anyways. So vampires, as everyone knows, is about Vlad the Vampire and Vlad the Impaler, and all that stuff. But Yeti's compiled some other stuff. Go ahead.
I have a problem with I get kind of bored with your average everyday vampire, so I kind of went a little different route with it. Let's just start at the roots, kind of, with the Strigoi, which is a really fucking cool name. It's Romanian, and they thought that, and it's really cool when you start looking at all this older stuff, where you see bits and pieces of it that they've taken and put into the literary and cinematic vampire lore. Like the Strigoi were restless spirits that would rise from the dead to feed on the blood of people that they knew and people in their village, and they could turn into different animals. And some of them were just like spirits. They could go as a mist or a wind, and some of them would possess their corpses and rise from their graves. And there were cases where somebody would die, and then bad shit would start happening, and so they'd go dig up the body, and of course, your gums recede as you decompose. The gums recede, and
nails grow a little bit. Or the fingernails, skin recedes, and it looks like the nails grow.
Yeah, the nails are growing, so your teeth are growing, and because there was no embalming, they would burst, and there would be blood around the orifices. So they'd dig up a corpse, and it would look, and especially during the wintertime, they would be the corpses would be preserved, or they would be in the long fingernails and the long teeth because of the recession of the soft tissue. And so they would put a fucking iron stake through their heart, or cut their head off and turn it around, or sometimes they would just straight up nail them to their coffins with iron stakes, because iron has long had a bunch of magical properties. People believe that forged iron was there was power to it.
Yeah, it would kill ghosts. Well, not kill them, but get rid of them from being, you hit them with a piece of iron and it makes them disappear to where their form disappears and they have to whatever. I don't know what manifest or whatever.
Yeah.
I seen that on Supernatural. This is Supernatural history, guys. That's where I get all my ghost hunting and vampire hunting stuff.
In hoodoo, you take 4 railroad spikes and nail them at the corners of your property, and that's supposed to set up a protective boundary around your home, and it also keeps you grounded, keeps you anchored to your homestead or whatever. So I mean, iron's got, like, through the ages, iron has been.
You imagine, like, you nail it all the way into the ground?
Yeah.
Like flush? Okay, because, man, if you got that motherfucker sticking up.
Hey, I had a thought. You think Italians are immune to vampires because they eat so much garlic with their food?
I mean, I don't know if all Italians eat a whole lot of garlic.
Well, because, they use garlic in their food.
Yeah, I mean,
garlic is awesome, though.
I wouldn't think so, but I don't know if garlic actually works. That's a movie thing, I believe. But.
Yeah. I don't know.
Garlic works.
I've been around people who ate a bunch of garlic, and it damn near repelled me.
You usually that shit out through your skin, don't you?
Yeah. I knew somebody who did who ate a bunch of minced garlic because they were told that it would, like, help with their blood pressure or some bullshit. And, like, they, like, every orifice, sweat, just constant garlic smell. And yeah. It's no bueno, guys. No bueno. I was wondering if maybe I was a vampire. I don't know. It's crazy day.
So you think that might be what it is, that vampires just can't handle the smell of garlic?
Yeah, well, garlic.
That's totally what it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, you think about the powers that vampires are imbued with, and one of them is like, oh, Jesus Christ, sorry, super sharp senses, hearing and smell and everything. You think about how garlic, if it's, it can smell kind of tasty, but if there's a lot of it, it's just fucking, it burns your eyes. It just smells terrible, right? Yeah. So imagine having super strong smell and then coming across some garlic and just being like, oh, nope.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with this. Fuck this. I quit, So, I mean, that could be it. It could be. There was also a time when they used garlic for infections. So that could be a part of it. Because there's a lot of connection between, like, vampirism and sickness, which takes us from Romania into New England. In the early days of America, when the tuberculosis, the consumption, was fucking people up good and proper, some superstitious New Englanders blamed it on vampires. There was this one case in particular, I can't remember the names, but this man had lost his wife and then his daughter, and then his son got sick because, tuberculosis is fucking contagious.
Yeah.
So they had gotten sick. So they had decided that the only way to kill this vampire was to dig up the coffin and take out its heart and its liver and burn it on an altar in order to destroy the vampire spirit or whatever, and that would heal the family. And the guy didn't believe a fucking bit of it. He was like, no, my family's just getting sick. But there was just so many people at his door every day that he was finally like, you know what? Fuck it. Go dig my wife up, cut her heart and her liver out, and burn them. If that'll make you shut the fuck up, do it. Let's go. So it's wintertime in New England. So it's like colder than a witch's tit in a brass bra. And so they dig through this fucking frozen ground to get this corpse out of the ground. And of course they crack open the coffin, and she's like super well preserved because she's basically been in a freezer for 3 months. So they get all fucking bajiggity because she's well preserved by the cold ground, and they cut her fucking heart out, and they cut her liver out, and they chop it up, and they burn it, and they fucking feed him the ashes in like a tea mixture, and then his son died of tuberculosis. So I mean, I think it worked out. So yeah, we had vampires here.
Man, that's fucking nuts, man. People, I mean, I know people believe in crazy shit now. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all about trying to.
Like, they went through with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we just talk about crazy stuff. We don't go. Well, there's probably some people that do. Like, I mean, there are some people, but we might talk about crazy stuff, but we're not going out digging up fucking graves. You know what I'm saying?
Not to cut out their livers anyway.
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, maybe some rings or something, but and also we don't want the government after us. I mean, with all the crazy stuff we do talk about, we're not really looking to incite the government. You know, we don't want to go out and get them on our trail.
Yeah,
we
don't.
Or when we do go dig up graves, we don't want them knowing where we're at.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
and grave robbing's illegal. Yeah, there was a time when grave robbing was a fucking lucrative profession. In the beginnings of the medical profession, doctors would pay motherfuckers to go dig up cadavers because they just
why not? You know,
just to study the anatomy and stuff. Speaking of the government, it's totally off topic, but did y'all hear about that federal judge whose son got fucking smoked in her house? Did y'all hear about that?
Oh, and her husband got shot too.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy comes up in a delivery outfit, comes up to
FedEx.
the house. Yeah, it was a FedEx.
Outfit.
He comes up in a FedEx outfit, fucking smokes her son, smokes her husband, but he's still in critical condition. This federal judge, days before this happened, had been assigned to the case that was to investigate the money laundering behind fucking Jeffrey Epstein, and was going to get into his fucking little black book. So they fucking killed her family to keep her quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of vampires we're dealing with today. Fucking dirty bastards.
She's investigating the Deutsche, or the, I don't know how to pronounce the bank. Deutsche, Deutsche Bank, whatever, Deutsche Bank. But they're the ones that have been, they're thinking that they've been laundering the money for all these fucking big time people and for Epstein. And when you fuck with higher ups, man, people in power don't want them names getting out, guys.
No, they don't. But they're just like Ghislaine Maxwell's been moved back and forth, been moved from cell to cell to avoid assassins.
No, suicide. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to avoid suicide.
Well, there's an article that I read that said she was moving to avoid assassins, and she said through her attorney that she was afraid that she was going to be killed, which kind of like, you know, like we memed it all to hell. Like Epstein didn't kill himself, like obviously, but now it's kind of like 2 and 2 is coming together and making 4. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is totally, we're off topic, but oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should just open with this, but you can't have her in a facility like that. Like, she can't come in contact with too many people. And to put a bond on her to where she can't get out, just, I don't know, man. I don't know if she's safer there or safer out. When she was on the run, no one knew where she was.
They knew where she was.
Well, I mean, but she was safer though, right?
I mean, in theory, but here's the thing. they've kind of painted themselves into a corner, because if she talks, then she talks. But if they whack her, it's gonna look real fucking shady.
My thing though is why would she not have already done video, like just fucking telling everything? Give it all. Like,
I think
she's done.
Yeah.
I mean, she got remarried. She's remarried. She's married to someone that they don't know who it is, and they bought a fucking like farm or some shit. Did you hear this?
Yeah, they bought a farm through like a proxy.
Yeah,
in New Hampshire.
Like something fucked up, dude. But it's just like, man, make a deal. They cut deals with so many fucking people. If she gave everyone's name, and I hope to God she does, with proof and evidence, and let's just shut everything down.
I hope she's already given a bunch of evidence to her lawyer, and is just
I hope so too. Yeah.
in quiet, because her lawyer did come out and be like, I read, weeks ago, that her lawyer came out publicly and was like, it would be good for Prince Andrew to show up and fucking talk, because my client's going to any day now. So she just kind of fucking put out there like, hey, this fucking royal pedophile needs to step up. Speaking of which, those are all fucking obvious vampires and lizards. A bunch of fucking...
Yeah, at least witches using fucking dark black magic.
Yeah.
Which just said that
and they're using Wayfair too to sell the kids.
That was a possibility. I'm not 100% sure about that, so I'm not gonna.
$10,000 pillows and shit.
Here's the thing, though. I went on Wayfair months and months and months ago. It's probably been a couple of years back. Because I saw a thing online. It was like 25% off or 40% off your first order. And I was like, fuck yeah, I need some sheets. I need a set of queen sheets, right? The queen size bed needs some new sheets. I'm going to go get some motherfucking sheets. 40% off. Dog, that sounds like a good deal. I go to fucking Wayfair. I'm like, queen size sheets. Cotton. Boom. Pull it up. Fucking $90 for a set of sheets. And I'm like, suck my dick. $90 for some sheets.
They're really good sheets, though.
Yeah, or it could have been like pieces of
they're made out of children.
Yeah. Kids' skin's real soft, makes good sheets, apparently.
No, but I mean, if you think about it, though, they are kind of like vampires. Just suck the energy out of all these kids, ruining their fucking lives.
They do.
You know what I'm saying?
They
for their own benefit, to boost their egos and boost their libido, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So they're using these younger kids to make themselves feel better about their old self. I mean, so it's almost like an energy vampire.
Yeah, it really is. And even if the kids survive, which a lot of them don't, and I really think the ones who don't are better off, because they're fucking scarred deeply for life.
Well, think about it though. Like, we're gonna be crude here. If Prince Andrew molested you, what's the rest of your life?
Yeah.
You're dead.
Nobody's gonna believe you if you talk.
Well, nobody's gonna probably see you again.
Yeah.
Because what do they do with these kids?
Well, one of the things I was hearing, I can't remember where, but that they were drinking the blood of the kids.
See, I don't know about that with the.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. The
drinking. Drinking the adrenal glands.
Adrenochrome. Yeah, like they would get them really scared, and they would, fucking get the blood out of them and drink it for the adrenaline, the high amounts of adrenaline. I mean, we had mentioned that before, but I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Like, I don't know.
I was listening to some stuff about the Franklin Credit Union cover up, and they were trafficking children, and I mean it's true. And there's this like deep government cover up to go into it, and it's fucking disgusting. But it was just like a lot of it too is like secret keeping.
Yeah.
Like they'll have these people that they're trying to pull into their like little shadowy fucking political thing. So they'll have them, and they'll either like lead them into or like allow them to sexually abuse these children, or put them in the same room where something fucking gross like that happens, and then, well, you were there,
Yeah.
so you're implicated.
You're guilty by. Yeah. You're guilty by.
You allowed that to happen, or
by
you took part in
association.
it. Yeah, at the very least, you're guilty by association, or you're a child molester. So now you have to keep all my fucking secrets, or I'm gonna tell yours.
Yeah.
So that's how they build these
Now
circles.
you work for me.
Yeah, that's how they build these secret-keeping circles. But so on a lighter note,
Yeah.
when I get into vampires and stuff, like I like, cinematic stuff or whatever, but what I really fucking enjoy is real life vampires. Like, that's why I'm kind of interested in the New England cases and the Strigoi and stuff, because this is shit that happened in real life. And there's also, I didn't pull any resources for it, but there's the Highgate Cemetery in London, where there's supposedly a vampire there that was like drawing people in. There was actually like vampire hunters that came to hunt the vampire. It's a whole fucking thing all in itself. Like I said, I didn't pull anything for it, but that's kind of interesting. But then you have the other side of it. It's not the people who think that vampires are everywhere. It's the people who believe that they're vampires. Like Richard Chase was the vampire of Sacramento. This dude, he was violently fucking schizophrenic, right? And he had he was schizophrenic, which was exacerbated by like tons of LSD. Because LSD is one of the safest drugs on the face of the planet, unless you're schizophrenic. It will exacerbate your schizophrenia. So, like, to just like briefly summarize, he starts off like he's starting to show signs of schizophrenia. He goes off to college, and this hippie dude that he's hanging out with fucking smokes some weed with him, and then he starts partying a little bit. And then, like, one night, he takes 5 hits of acid, and this is like in the 60s, so it's, good potent shit. He takes 5 tabs and sits there for a few minutes and was like, you know what I think I need to accompany that? 5 more hits of acid. So he takes a 10 strip with schizophrenia and fucking just trips nuts and falls in love with it, right? Just completely falls in love with the acid. So he keeps doing it, and he goes absolutely fucking batshit. To backtrack a little bit further, he had, accompanied with the extensive LSD abuse and schizophrenia, he had something called Cotard Syndrome. Cotard Syndrome it's a kind of rare psychological condition that makes someone believe that they are dead, or rotting from the inside, or like a part of them is dead, something like that. Like there's something, they're not fully alive. When Richard Chase was in high school, he was popular. He was a handsome fella, I guess, and he would get on dates. But he could never get his dick hard. And he had learned that it's blood filling the unit that makes it hard. And and he was getting clowned on by high school girls because he couldn't get it up as a teenager, so that fucking fucked with him too. So he started believing that he didn't have enough blood.
Yeah.
And so he started to he kind of took that and he started buying rabbits from a rabbit farm, and he would take them home and butcher them and drink the blood, eat the liver, and eat the heart raw. Or sometimes he would just take the blood and the innards and fucking pulse them down in a blender and have like a bunny smoothie, because he didn't have enough blood. He didn't have enough blood in him to make his body function properly, to make his dick hard, and it started working. Like when he would drink blood of animals, it'd make his dick hard. And so he's got this crazy fucking weird mixture of schizophrenia and Cotard Syndrome and fucking LSD abuse, and he's going fucking nuts, and he's drinking animal blood. And one of my favorite stories about him is his dad was still coming to see him. He comes in and he's just sick. He's pale and he's fucking sweating. He's got a fever, and he looks like death. And his dad's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Oh, I ate a bad rabbit." So he goes to the hospital. He's like, "I think I got food poisoning." He had blood poisoning because he thought he had eaten a rabbit that had eaten battery acid. So that battery acid had seeped into the meat and therefore into the blood, and then into his blood because he ate the battery acid tainted rabbit. So he had to take the blood of a clean rabbit and inject it into himself, and it gave him blood poisoning. Because he was injecting himself with rabbit's blood, he went to a fucking mental institution. He came out, and then he started killing people. Like he was the vampire of Sacramento. He had no fucking no victim profile. It was just whoever was, there and fucking available. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna pull my notes real quick. I'm pretty sure he started with.
He did a drive-by shooting was his first kill.
Yeah.
A father of two, was 51 years old.
Oh yeah. He
in 1977.
He drove by and he shot him, and his family thought he was having a heart attack. But then they came out, and then he had a fucking bullet hole in his chest, and he was dead. Couple weeks later, he tried to get in to another woman's house. Her door was locked, and he left because the door was locked. He later tell investigators that he saw unlocked doors as a sign that he was supposed to come in. Because also, with the Cotard Syndrome, the acid abuse, the vampirism, and the schizophrenia, he was hearing voices. He was hearing voices telling him to kill. So he would see somebody, and he would hear them telepathically tell him that, "I'm your next victim. Come kill me."
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That was somebody else. That was somebody else. I'm thinking of somebody else. The voices. That was Howard Mullen. My bad. Stuart Mullen. Whatever. In 1978, he broke into a house and...
God damn, this one right here is fucked up. Broke into a house and shot Teresa Wallen.
Yeah. She's 3 months pregnant. He fucked her corpse and then stabbed her while he was stabbing her with a butcher knife. He removed multiple organs, cut off one of her nipples, and drank her blood. He stuffed dog shit from the Wallen's yard in her throat before leaving.
Fuck, dude, that motherfucker.
4 days later, he entered the home of 38-year-old Evelyn Meroth. He encountered her friend Danny Meredith, whom he shot with his .22, and then took Meredith's wallet, car keys. He fatally shot Meroth and her 6-year-old son and her 22-month-old nephew before mutilating and engaging in necrophilia and cannibalism with her corpse. He fucked her, cut her open, drank her blood, ate her organs. He liked organ meat. He liked to eat livers and hearts, the viscera, He just left shoe prints and hand prints everywhere. I mean, there's also a story, like before this, he's one of those that, before the murder spree, like there were times where, like, the only reason he wasn't arrested is because you can't arrest a guy for being weird.
Yeah.
Like, he was on tribal land out in California, and tribal police pulled up on this car, and they looked in the interior. It was pulled off on the side of the road. They looked in the interior, and the interior is just fucking covered in blood. There's bloody handprints everywhere. There's blood sloshed on the seats and shit. In the passenger side floorboard, there's a 5-gallon bucket with like 2 or 3 inches of blood in it and a liver. Okay, when they took out their binoculars and they started looking around and they saw this dude, this white guy, fucking covered in blood, butt naked, perched on a rock out in the field. So they run him down, and like I said, he is covered in blood. His whole body's covered in blood. He's butt naked. His fucking ears are packed full of blood. His mouth and his nostrils, you can tell he's just been like drinking it, like shotgunning blood. And they're like, where did all this come from? Whose blood is this? He's like, it's mine. It's seeping out of me. I'm losing my blood. It turns out it was all cow's blood. He had presumably butchered and killed and butchered a cow out there somewhere, took its liver, took its blood. And so, yeah, Richard Chase was, he was, I don't know, man, he was fucking nuts. He's,
would you say he's a real piece of shit?
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely a total piece of shit. But he was also, like, fundamentally broken. His brain was not good. He didn't have a good life, a great life growing up, and then the schizophrenia exacerbated by the LSD, the Cotard Syndrome. He also had, they said he might have had something called Rinfield Syndrome, which is linked to, if you've ever seen or read Dracula, the thrall, Rinfield, his Dracula's servant. Because at one point they found him in his mental bed, in his mental institution. He had lured birds into his windowsill, caught them, and killed them and was drinking their blood. And they walked in and he's just covered in fucking bird blood and feathers. And they're like, what the fuck happened? He's like, oh, I cut myself shaving. Yeah. So yeah, he was a real piece of shit. He was an absolute fucking psycho. And that is like, as far as like scary vampires go, he's pretty much top notch. I wouldn't say he's my favorite serial killer, but if we're ranking vampires, he's definitely up there. That's real fear.
Yeah.
You know, there's no.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, serial killers like that are the real scary ones to me. Like your Dahmers and your fucking Bundys and stuff. They have a delineated pattern. You know, it's a woman with fucking discolored hair styled this way, or boys of this age that with this build. You know what I'm saying? But like people like Richard Chase and fucking Richard Ramirez, these are people that are completely disorganized. They have no victim pattern, and they'll just fucking kill whenever their fucking broken ass brain tells them to. Little more recent, and probably one of my favorite cases, including vampires, is the Vampire Clan killings from the 90s in Florida. Now, there's a really fucking great book about this called The Embrace by Aphrodite Jones. And there's some half-ass hacky fucking documentaries out there. There's a movie, like a theatrical. Well, I don't know if it's theatrical, but it's like a film made about it. But it's the Rod Farrell murder case. On November 29th, 1996, Rod Farrell and Scott Anderson walked into the Windorf house in Eustis, Florida, and committed a brutal murder. Farrell beat Richard Windorf to death with a crowbar as he slept on the couch. Moments later, Rod would use the same crowbar to bludgeon and stab Ruth Windorf to death in the family's kitchen. The bodies were found hours later by the couple's oldest daughter, Jennifer. As the bodies of the Windorf couple were slowly growing cold and stiff in the home, their youngest daughter, Heather, rode in the back seat of her parents' stolen SUV They were headed to New Orleans, a place they believed was a haven for vampires. And this is coming from an article I wrote. It's on tnhorror.com if you want to go look at that. There's some photos and stuff. It's True Story Tuesdays, Vampire Clan Murders. It's an older piece. Roderick Justin Farrell, Rod for short, was the product of a broken home and a shitty mother. His mom, known to Rod and his friends as Star, was constantly jumping into serious relationships that did not last. This forced the two of them to move regularly. At one point, Star had entered a relationship with a man in Eustis, Florida, where they lived for a time as a family. During this time in Eustis, Farrell became friends with Heather Wendorf, who was 2 years Rod's junior. Both of them were outcasts, with Farrell being more eccentric. In their small suburban town, Rod would get constant stares for his gothic clothing, painted nails, and strange habits. Even the most critical of Eustis residents did not know how different Farrell really was. When his mother's relationship fell apart, Rod was forced to move back to his hometown of Murray, Kentucky. Murray was a smaller and more conservative town. There he would meet Jaden Murphy and was slowly allowed into Murphy's own vampire clan. And it kind of... This is what... So Rod's just a piece of shit, okay? I'm not going to read the full article. I go into some serious detail in the article. If you guys want to go, like, I totally, you know, if you're kind of interested in it, you should totally go check it out. And then go, and if that piques your interest, go read Aphrodite Jones's book. It's fucking phenomenal. But, okay, so there's an old abandoned building in Murray, Kentucky, and it's called the Vampire Hotel. And it's where all these fucking, like, extra super goth kids hang out who think they're real-life vampires. And they're a family or a clan of vampires. And they're just fucking nerds, you know?
Hey, hold on real quick. They ain't the same ones that dance to industrial goth music underneath bridges, are they?
No.
Okay.
Those are cyber goths.
Cyber goths, my bad, yeah.
So, like, Rod's hanging out with him, and he's just too fucking crazy. He's killing animals and fucking, like, just fucking burning himself with cigarettes and threatening to kill people and fucking, you know, yada, yada, yada. Well, he starts talking to these kids back in small town Florida and spinning this tale how he's really Visago. He's this fucking 1,000-year-old vampire. And he can astral project, and he's got all these powers, and he's got this network of powerful vampires waiting for him in fucking New Orleans. Because, you know, if you're familiar with, like, Vampire Diaries, the originals, fucking the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice, and a bunch of other literature and stuff, New Orleans is like a mecca for supernatural creatures, voodoo, and vampires, and all kinds of shit. So he's got this dude named Scott Anderson with him, and he's kind of like his fucking lackey. He's just kind of got this fucking portly fucking kid roped in, you know, because, like, he's got chicks and drugs and fucking is having a good time or whatever. And so he's got this dude pulled in, and he's got a couple of chicks from around there. And he's been talking to Heather Wendorf, who's this, you know, kind of a weird chick. You know what I'm saying? She's not a bad person. Like, she didn't know any of this was happening. Like, she just knew that they were going to go steal the car. Right? She didn't have any idea that he was going to go in there and murder her parents. She had no fucking clue. And they were just going to run away to New Orleans, and they were going to start a new life. It was like a teenage adventure. You know, they were going to be together, and it was going to be, you know, it was just going to be awesome, and he was going to sire her and cross her over and make her a vampire. And they just, they ended up in New Orleans. I mean, it didn't last very long. It lasted like a couple of weeks. By Thanksgiving weekend, they were all fucking locked up. Heather was one of the only people who got free. They gave, and there's interviews with Rod Farrell online, like on YouTube, if you look him up. And he's just this insufferable fucking douchebag. He's just like continues to try to just be the gothiest of goth kids, and the same with like, and from like I don't know, it was like 10 years ago or so. There was like a fucking one of those Dateline pieces on this case, and they talked to like Jaden Murphy and his clan. They were still operating out of the Vampire Hotel or whatever, and they seem like chill people. Like super chill, just like, they're different and they want a place to fit in, but they do drink blood and they do fucking get into the whole vampire thing and whatever. But Rod just took it really far, and this case has always fucking really interested me because I feel kind of like a personal connection with it, because in high school I knew a guy like this.
Oh God, I thought you was gonna be because in high school I was like,
well,
I was like this. I wanted to be a vampire.
I hung out with these guys. It was like, there's a guy, we called him Skittles. Okay, gayest nickname ever, but whatever. So Skittles had spun this fucking yarn that he was like this 900-year-old vampire, and was like his demon spirit was the father of Lucifer, and fucking he could astral project into hell and turn into fucking different animals and all this fucking crazy shit, right? And he was like 20 something, and like I was like in high school, and like all these weird high school chicks really dug hanging out with him. And he like always had weed. So it was like the chicks I wanted to bang that were like my age, and like all the weed I could smoke, and like there was also like hard drugs and liquor and stuff. So yeah, I was always around. But it was just so fucking crazy to see him, because I never took him seriously, because he was always talking all this weird vampire devil shit and like making up symbols and talking about, I don't practice black magic or white magic. I practice neutral magic. We don't use pentagrams. We use 6-pointed stars and circles and blah, 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 blah. And it was just all this dumb, nerdy shit, right? And it's just, to me, it's a fucking lark, okay? It's an escape from my shitty small town life. Yeah. I can just go get fucking bombed and listen to this goddamn retard talk. And I've been a creative all my life. I've been a writer and a fucking artist, and I've been playing guitar since I was a kid. So yeah, I would get fucking baked, and I'd be like, yeah, man, and my spirit is from like the 8th level of hell, and I'm 9,000 years old, and I came out of a fucking zombie's butthole. And I was just like, we would bounce back and forth off of each other and build this mythos. Problem is, he was taking it seriously. He thought I was buying in. So he was with this girl who I won't name, because she was really a victim in all this. And I think I still think she's really fucking cool, and I really liked her at the time. But so he had moved in. Him and his Scott had moved in. He had a fucking lackey who was like just pulled in deeply to him, right?
He had a familiar.
Yeah, pretty much just like his Rinfield, his Scott Anderson. They called him Wolf. It was dumb. He was a white guy. It was dumb. But
wait, so one guy's named Skittles and the other guy's named Wolf?
Yeah.
How are you a vampire named Skittles?
How are you straight?
Anyways, that don't matter.
Anyway, yeah. But anyway, so they move into this girl's house, who I'll just call Star. So they move into Star's house. And of course, she's a sophomore in high school, a freshman in high school. Freshman. She's a freshman in high school. This dude's like 20 years old, and he's fucking living in her house with her mom because she's in high school, and her mom fucking hates this dude. She's like, this is not fucking okay. You guys have to go. Because it was like, oh no, he's my best friend, and we're just hanging out. And then like they were totally balling, you know? Yeah. They were totally fucking. It was obvious. She was like, you have to go. I'm going to fucking call the cops. What you're doing is illegal. I'm not going to fucking stand for this anymore. You're ruining my daughter. You're fucking polluting her mind. You have to fucking go with your drugs and your weirdness and your fucking you're dumb shit. And she's like, you have to get the fuck out. So they sent Star out to the fucking car. And they're like, I'm going to get the keys. They sent her out to the car. They beat her mom unconscious with a fucking frying pan. Cut the phone line. Tied her up with the phone cord. And cut her throat.
Brutal.
Luckily, for her mom, who was just the sweetest lady, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. She all these fucking misfit kids hanging out, and she would fucking, she wasn't like the den mom or anything, but she was nice to us. She didn't fucking run us all off. She didn't, as long as you had some sense about you and showed her some respect, she was a nice woman. She was just a single mom trying to make... Anyway, I'm getting mad. Luckily, they were fucking idiots and thought that if you just ran a blade over somebody's throat, it would kill them. And that's not the way it works, because your throat skin is actually very thick. But it bleeds. So they cut her throat, they left her on the floor, and they stole her car, and she left. And also, they couldn't tie knots worth of shit. So she woke up, and she's like, fucking neck hurts, and she's like, oh god, I'm all bloody. And she gets out of her fucking bonds, and she uses her cordless phone in the other room to call the cops, and he went to prison. Yeah, so like the reason I'm so enthralled with this Rod Farrell character is because I kind of lived the periphery of this in a different time in a different state. So, yeah. And there was lots of like they too would like drink blood and stuff.
Okay, so what you're saying is if you hear anybody claiming that they're 900 years old and they drink blood, you probably shouldn't fucking hang out with them.
Yeah, you need to watch, just because they're kind of fun to listen to when you're really stoned. Just watch your friends who claim to be 9,000 years old. For warning signs of violence and having sex with underage girls.
Yeah,
And don't order $9,000 pillows off Wayfair.
Don't do that either. And if you see the guy who claims to be 5,000 years old ordering $10,000 pillows off Wayfair, leave. Just leave.
Hey, how about that? How about that damn 9,000-year-old guy just use that money and donate to our Patreon?
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
That's what you should do.
If you are a real life vampire, we're totally we're gonna try to have Count Drahoon on soon, but I don't want some fucking jerk ass coming and fucking being a retard. If you are really like a fucking real life vampire, you drink blood and you're about the lifestyle and you're not a complete and total fucking lunatic like Rod Farrell or fucking Richard Chase, but you live a life that's your weird thing, and you have a quote unquote normal life and you're not hurting anybody or whatever. Holler at me on Instagram at the Movie Raccoon, or email me yetiscribbles@gmail.com, or you can hit our email. I want to talk to you. I want to sit down and have an interview. If you're like a real life vampire. Also, long shot, Jaden Murphy. If you hear this, holler at me. I want to talk to you. If you know Jaden Murphy, if you're from Kentucky, from the Murray area, and you know Jaden Murphy, put him in touch with me. I want to have a sit down with that guy. So fucking bad.
Did y'all ever want fangs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool as hell.
I always thought it'd be cool to rock fangs, but not really noticeable ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just real subtle, they're just a little bit longer than, you know what I'm saying? He's got really long canines.
Somebody might see him and go, huh, that was weird.
Yeah, or that
guy has fangs.
Canines look. Is that a Sphinx? No. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that'd be cool. I don't know why, but I just thought it was.
I thought about there was a time where I thought about filing my teeth to points.
Oh.
But then I realized how often I bite my tongue and bite my lip. So I decided it was a terrible fucking idea.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah,
I don't tell your teeth would last either.
Yeah, they'd probably because the sides of them would be exposed. You wouldn't have any enamel. It would just all be tooth pulp exposed.
Yeah, you'd have to get what's it called?
Veneers.
Yeah, veneers or just like a damn, you know what I'm saying, like a grill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like have them slightly adjusted. That's what I say about the fangs, that they're just slightly. That'd be pretty cool. But anyways, I don't know.
That'd be neat. But yeah.
Go to TeePublic, guys.
Yeah,
while we in this, go to TeePublic. We got some new merch. We're gonna do a Fiend collection. Just some fun stuff, you know. We do have a Gore Fiend shirt up. So if you really love gore and you want everyone to know, you know, and wear it to your family events, you know, like that. I let them fuckers know, you know, like, hey, I'm a Gore Fiend, you know, I love it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some Halloween stuff, and we're planning on doing a little bit more. We're gonna call it the Fiend Collection.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna be awesome.
Do what?
It's awesome.
Yeah. So go check that out. It helps us a whole lot. Hopefully in a few months we'll get our Halloween stuff up, and we'll get a sale going, 30% off.
Woo!
If you've seen the video, I did quotation marks, which, as everyone knows, when we do 30% off, it's $30 off, pay shipping, $30 off an order. So you buy a t-shirt, you only pay shipping. If it happens that way, we don't know if it will, but it could. Who knows? Has the last 2 times. Don't let TeePublic know. That way you can get a $7.50 shirt. You know what I'm saying?
That's how that right there was. Yeah.
Yeah.
$7, buddy. $7.
You get all stuff. That's awesome. The Halloween stuff is really cool. The design. You might be able. I don't know if Jim Jam. We looked at it, put it up. I don't know if it's still there. You can see it. Let us know what you think of it, if it is there. And just, I mean, anything, you know, like if a design sucks, tell us.
Yeah.
Anyways, if we suck, let us know. Let Jim Jam know. He's the one that does the Instagram and all that. Let him know how bad it sucks. Because I mean, if you say we all suck, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that at all.
Don't believe that at all.
One of us has to be all right.
Yeah, one of them is okay. But yeah, we appreciate y'all listening. We hope you had a good time. Thanks for taking time out. Stay cool. Stay safe. And don't be afraid to wear a mask, because everybody's going to have to fucking wear one.
Yeah.
Blow up at Patreon, y'all.
Yeah, blow it up. Donate. It helps us out. There's certain tiers. We do a Patreon-only episode. You select you get $20 and you say, hey, I'd like to hear you talk about this. Hey, we'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we our last Patreon only episode we did we talked about the PS5.
Yeah, Alex, we greatly appreciate him. He wanted us to do something about video games. We did it, and it was a lot of fun. I like talking about video games. I just recently bought the Ghost of Tsushima. It's really fun. I like video games. You know, I just started getting back into them since the pandemic, and really since I quit drinking. So, a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? Staying busy. So, thanks for listening. Take care, guys.
Take care, y'all.
Take care now.